Come on.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Controversy Lab.
Where controversy is key.
I'm your host, Lakel House.
It is I, RTJ.
All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Controversy Lab. We appreciate you guys out there for supporting us. First of all, let me give a shout out to everybody that subscribed to us on YouTube. We're actually almost at 800 subscribers. So we're running up.
We're moving.
So we're running up numbers on YouTube. Our goal in the next couple months is to try to push that to 1,000. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll actually feel good about recording all these damn videos and putting all this content out. But still, even then, we won't be able to get into YouTube's good graces until we get to 4,000 watch hours. So, subscribers back in the day used to be one of the only ways for you to get into the monetization program to be able to start making money from YouTube. But now you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So if you guys can go watch our videos on YouTube, we would greatly appreciate it.
And just put them on repeat.
And if you don't want to watch our videos on YouTube because you feel like our content is not that exciting, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know how we can do better. Let us know any kind of topics you guys want to hear about. Let us know how we can improve your experience while you're here with us, Controversy Lab.
And if you like them, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
And share. Like,
Please.
share, subscribe. That's why the share is in there. Sharing helps us grow as well and get those watch hours up.
This part right here.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about
how the Asian community now has a hate crime bill. It was passed, this week?
Yeah, so congratulations to the Asian community for getting your hate bill passed. So we don't want people to think, number one, that we have an issue with Asian Americans or Asians from Japan, China. I have no hate or prejudice towards any group of people at all whatsoever, whether they're homosexual, straight. I really don't derive any hate or prejudice against anyone. So, from my perspectives, my big thing about this Asian hate crime bill is that, I guess for me, because I have not been exposed to, this alleged hate that's been going on in the Asian community, because I have not witnessed any of it myself. I haven't seen any on the news. I haven't been directly exposed to it. So, of course, I'm not going to sit here and say because I haven't been exposed to it that it doesn't exist. I would never say that. But for me, I've never really experienced or seen it for myself.
I haven't seen it. I've only heard about the one, maybe two stories of the guys shooting up the spas here in Georgia.
Right.
But with that being said, there were also other nationalities of people that were killed in that act, which they failed to mention. And then you have the story of the Asian cop who beat up a woman thinking she was white, but she was actually Asian. And
you said he beat her up and he thought she was Asian?
Yes.
What do you mean?
No, he thought she was white, but she was Asian.
Where did her nationality or race come into play or question?
When they interviewed him, they asked him, because he was upset of the so-called quote-unquote Asian hate. He then seen a woman he thought was white. He beat her up. Come to find out, she was an Asian woman.
Who is this officer?
Let me look at his name real quick. But
that's crazy. So I haven't heard that story, and it's interesting because you told me you've been getting a lot of videos pertaining to a lot of the Asian.
There's not a lot of videos. I've been getting a lot of advertisements, so to speak.
Okay. A lot of ads.
So and I have I'm like you. I have yet to see anything outside of the spas being shot up, which I did my research on that, and I saw that it was more than just Asian.
Okay, so yeah, so while you get that, one thing that I'm kind of curious about is the fact that this bill actually passed Senate 94-1, which is a big feat considering that the bill actually before it got passed. Usually bills go through a very lengthy process of getting processed through the Senate. It can take months and months and months for one single bill, to even make the floor to be voted upon. So I was a little bit surprised to see that this bill was actually pushed through so fast and passed with such haste. Not typically saying because not saying because from my perspective, I feel like, it doesn't exist. It's not an issue. My thing is, I mean, you can say it.
Bad. Michael Reed.
Jesus Christ.
Michael Reed of Lake Forest attacked Asian woman believing she was white in retaliation for rise in hate crimes.
Wow. That's wild.
This happened April 12th, this year, April 12th of 2021. He beat up a woman thinking she was white and she was actually Asian.
Right.
Because of the rhetoric being, let me take it back. Not rhetoric, because of the narrative being pushed that Asians are being attacked. Right. Now, my problem with this bill, to get to my side, my problem with this bill is that it's quickly passed. Asian hate crime bill is quickly passed, but for over 100 years, we in the black community have been asking for a hate crime bill to be passed in our direction. I'm like you. I don't like violence against any type of people, but when I can't side with this when we've been getting ignored for so many years.
Yeah, that's my big issue that I have, or my major concern is that, we have this bill that was rushed through the Senate. And for me, that's what bothers me the most, right? So typically there's due process that most bills have to go through before they're even entertained. And again, that process can take anywhere from 1, 2, 3, 4 months just to be considered to pass the chamber.
Up to years.
It could take up to years just for it to even be considered to pass the chamber. Now, this bill was voted upon 94-1. And I believe it was one Republican senator,
Senator Josh Hawley.
Yeah, Senator Josh Hawley actually voted against it. And everybody else was in favor of pushing it. And then we have the celebration saying, oh, yeah, we're going to stand on this bill. We're going to push this. And now, specifically, people are probably wondering, what does the bill do specifically? So specifically, the bill, it gives power to the police, right? It allows the police to, one, create a special hotline for people to report crimes and hate crimes against Asian Americans. Now,
and I think we talked about that before we started recording, that how it's actually up to the FBI to take care of, but
right.
For them now to specifically have a hotline to the police for Asian hate crime, that lets you know that something's up for me in my book.
Right. And one of the processes that something has to go through before it's passed, it takes up to 60 votes. There's a 60 vote threshold to go through the filibuster for it to even be considered to go across the floor. Now, in order for something to jump over the filibuster, which takes 60 votes to even get put to the floor or to progress to the floor, it has to be something very serious, right? The last thing that actually jumped the line in this same situation, as far as the Senate rushing to pass something, was a COVID-19 relief.
Okay.
Right. It got pushed through. So then the question is, so we're saying that, the Asian hate in our country is as severe and as serious as COVID-19. So my only thing is to piggyback off of that, over 100+ years of, being hung, killed, murdered, XYZ, lynched, raped. We don't have a hate crime hotline.
What's so funny?
I mean, and again, I say that, I hate to cut you off, but again, I say I don't have an issue with any nationality, right? My only problem is this. Like, we look at what just happened to George Floyd, right? And with us, our people, we don't have a hotline. Right? Like you just said, people report, the hate crime rate is down for black people. Well, because like you just said, a lot of people don't know the police don't handle hate crimes.
The FBI handle hate crimes.
This is a big issue. But now, so it's with the passing of this bill from the Senate gives power to the police to allow the police to directly, intervene. They also gave them this bill also pushes to give them a database where they store all the information. The police can store the information, all the hate crimes that come in, keep track of them, follow up. My biggest thing is, why isn't this bill inclusive to
our community, colored
people as well? Why not throw Mexicans, Latin Americans? Why not throw Black Americans into the group? Why is it only inclusive to Asian Americans?
So here's my thing with this. One, there's going to be a influx of people in our community that's going to support this.
Right. Two, we support every nationality anyway. Let's just keep it real.
Outside ourselves.
Outside of ourselves. Yeah.
Two, all the abuse that the Asian community actually gives us. When our women are going to these nail salons and getting abused,
Right.
When our women are going to these hair salons and getting abused, when we are going to these food spots and getting abused, now that abuse is going to actually be taken further because of this hate crime bill.
When you say abuse, what do you mean?
I don't know if you remember the incident that happened in New York when the young lady and her mom, the two ladies in the nail salon were actually beat up because they didn't like what was being done to their nails, and they was like, "We're not going to pay. We're going to leave." They got beat with brooms. They got acetone poured on them. They got all this stuff happen to them. That's the Asian community abusing our women.
Right.
But we don't. First of all, we don't stop supporting those places. Two, when there was a black man that retaliated against that same nail salon, and he got ridiculed for standing up for the black community, for the black women. So the abuse that the Asian community actually gives us is going to be looked at a different light when it comes to the police handling these Asian hate crime bills.
Yo, I agree with, the direction you're going. One thing I don't want us to do, though, is I don't want us to group all Asians into one group. Let's say the Asian community. I mean, because we're talking about an isolated incident with, a nail salon.
They do that to us.
I mean, I understand. I'm just saying, but we're talking about whether it's 1, 2, or 3 does not speak for the collective group in its entirety, right? The whole community.
Well, now, we need to tell the other communities that don't do that shit to us.
I mean, cool, I agree with you, but I'm just saying though. But we can't group everybody in. It's just the same thing with us. You can't group every single black person together in one group, one collective group, and talk about the whole community in its entirety. So essentially, I mean, what I'm saying is I don't want us to group all Asians in the same pool. I don't want to group Japanese, Chinese, Taiwanese, or even Asian Americans in the same group.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're not all in the same group, and they're all not racist. It's just that we in the black community are asking for our just due. Everything that everybody else gets are things that we've been asking for a century now.
I mean, I totally agree.
So
there's no debate there.
That's just the thing. And then we have, can I go here? Elected officials that we put in office that ride our community, and then they get into this office and don't do anything for us. So that's just all we asking for. That's really it.
I mean, it's a win for the Asian community. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely it's a win for America, because it's a step in the right direction. But I feel like, why is it that, we as a people, as a community, we have to suffer the atrocities that we suffer, yet we don't get such speedy responses? You know what I mean? Like this, Stop Asian Hate, movement has been going on for how long? A couple months now. And already they're pushing bills through across the Senate floor, across the chamber. You know what I mean? So, I mean, listen, it is what it is. Like I said, I have no prejudice or hate against any group of people. For me, it's just equality across the board. Like, what's wrong with saying, hey, yeah, we're going to push a bill through to stop the Asian hate. We're going to also throw Afro-Americans in there. Let's go throw Latin Americans in. Let's throw everybody of color in there into this bill so that everybody's included. We have a database for any and everyone that is facing a hate crime.
Here's the reality of things. Just treat people. It sounds simple, but just treat people the way you want to be treated, regardless of skin color, regardless of nationality. Like I do say harsh things towards people, but I still do not treat people outside of the way I want to be treated. And this is the reality of things. No matter what you do in life, you can be a cop, you can be a senator, you can be whatever. Just treat people the way you want to be treated. Sounds simple, but it's very hard for humanity. And we should actually practice these things and just be able to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, and I pretty much don't have anything else to say on this topic. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I really wanted to go in.
I want to cuss so bad.
I want to go in.
I want to go in too, but
I'm gonna try to keep it mellow.
Wu-Tang forever. Bruce Lee, I love Bruce Lee.
That's a good point.
I love Bruce Lee.
Hold on. No, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. You know, and the thing is, when it comes to a lot of the hate that I feel like the Asian community is getting, it's not coming from us. It's not coming from the black community. It is not coming from us. Like, look at Wu-Tang Forever, Wu-Tang Clan,
Who watched Saturday Morning Kung Fu more than we did?
nobody. You know what I mean? Like,
Who supported Kung Fu theater?
more than us, nobody.
Do y'all remember when, Lou Alcindor, I call him Lou Alcindor,
Yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was with Bruce Lee. Who did that? We supported that.
Yeah.
It ain't coming from us.
It's not coming from us.
It's not coming from us. Matter of fact, the reason we know it's not coming from us, because the police that I read about the Michael Ree, who did he think the Asian woman was? Thought she was another nationality, wasn't black.
Right.
So they know where it's coming from. However, the media in which they own tries to push the narrative in another direction. They know where it's coming from.
Yeah,
Just read between the lines, people.
It ain't coming from us. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate you guys for tuning in with us. You know, I pretty much have everything else to say about this topic, straight to the point. We try to keep our videos, for the time being, short, concise, to the point, give you guys great content, and keep it moving. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.
Follow us on all social medias.
If you have anything to add to this topic, this discussion, we respond to all comments. So leave a message in the comment section below, and we'll be sure to get back with you with our insight.
And hurry up and get us to those 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we need 1,000 subs.
Still rocking with the day ones.
Still rocking with the day ones. Don't forget, we got the merch dropping, merch coming soon. We did talk about dropping merch and giving it free to the first couple hundred subscribers. So yes, we haven't forgotten about that. We're probably going to come up with something to make it fair, because we've been running behind on getting the merch out. But once we get the merch out, we're going to be sending out care packages to as many people as we can. We're going to do a limited push, probably 200-300 shirts, maybe some hats too, and then we'll send the merch out to everybody that is interested and wants free merch.
If you're day one, drop a emoji, a comment in the comment box. I guess this way.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Let's do that. All the day ones. If you were day one, drop a comment in the comment section below, and we'll add you to our list for free merch.
Yes.
And we'll continue to do that from all the episodes, from this episode moving forward, until we get to the threshold of how many shirts and hats we're gonna produce. And then once we get to that threshold, we'll cut it out. All right, so that's how we're gonna do it. All right, and that's pretty much all we got for today's episode.
Yep, controversy out.